We interrupt this program to bring you an important Wayfair message. Wayfair's got style tips for every home. This is Nicole Byer, helping you make those rooms flyer. Today's style tip: when it comes to making a statement, treat bold patterns like neutrals. Go wild! Like an untamed animal print area rug under a rustic farmhouse table from Wayfair.com. Ooh, fierce! This has been your Wayfair style tip to keep those interiors superior.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Now we need to jump into the most important story of the day, and that is yet another biohazard has diverted a flight in the United States. This is what, the second one this year?
Evidently, there have been more than that, but this is the second one with audio.
Which is the reason why it gets inside the treehouse. So let me set the stage for you. Yet another biohazard has occurred in the air. A biohazard on a United Airlines flight is the latest mid-air incident to trigger an unplanned early landing of a commercial plane. You know how they say when you're on a plane, when they bring out the life vest and they say, in the unlikely event of a water landing, as opposed to say, in case we crash into the ocean or a lake, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If they keep having these biohazards, they're going to have to add that into the safety training and have like a suit or something that'll pop down next to, you know, your air conditioning vent. And they're going to have to say, in the event of an unplanned biohazard spraying, bodysuits will pop down and you're supposed to secure yourself first, then the children. Anyway.
Spirit will charge you extra for that.
Yeah, no, that'll be coin operated, or it'll be the scan
coin, swipe. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. It'll be a swipe machine. You're gonna have to. It'll be $100 easy. United Airlines says one passenger's medical issue caused flight 2477 to land in Virginia, where the plane had to be deep cleaned. FlightAware shows the flight departing Houston on Sunday morning, then diverting to Washington Dulles International Airport about 2 hours into the trip. Just enough time for all that food to get through the system. The flight was bound for Boston Logan International Airport. However, with this audio between the pilot and air traffic control, they decided that maybe it's better we don't finish the flight all the way to Boston, but instead maybe we should, divert this thing.
To the doctor, and I talked to the crew, and sounds like it's quite bad back there. It's still really bad. The crew is vomiting.
I've seen this scene in Family Guy. Boy. I understand that, the flight crew, they go through a lot of training for various things, and they clearly need to, do a new course on biohazards, because the last thing you want during your flight is to have the flight crew looking or sounding or being alarmed in such a fashion where they are also involved in all the vomiting around the plane.
I just don't want to be the person that has to write the booklet for the explosive diarrhea manual for United. I don't ever want to get that credit. It's like, oh man, that's the guy who wrote it right there.
Yeah. Also, what's that light look like when you illuminate it? You got to hit the brown button.
Oh Lord, okay.
The crew is vomiting, and passengers all around are asking for masks, etc. And it sounds like I think 20-minute flight to Cleveland is probably the better option instead of going an hour and 40 to straight ahead to Boston. Especially with it kind of being a biohazard. I think we need to probably get this plane on the ground ASAP.
Yeah, I think.
I my only thought is like when you have to deboard that plane, and so does that person. Like, right?
Do
And
they get
so
off first, or do you stick them in the back?
I don't know what that. I think that that one side door that nobody ever. There's no like no way to get it out of.
Yeah, there's like the back exit.
Yeah.
But then there's also on the other side of the plane where they bring on the food and
Food.
stuff.
Would
Oh,
you
the
think
irony.
that if you had done something that bad, you would just lock yourself in the bathroom?
Yeah, and not ever come out.
Yeah.
That's when they open that one side, like not where the food comes in, but the other one, and they just throw you down the slide and like you walk home. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, that's the other thing too, is they tell you it's a water slide, but in reality,
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
that's the poop slide.
It's the poop chute.
833 Cook DFW. That's the phone number to reach Daniel and Carrie Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. The website, cookdfw.com. Put you on the spot, Daniel. Do you have any big New Year's resolutions?
Well, I'm definitely not going to be flying my drone anywhere in DFW right away. I think there's some major people that are looking for drones right now.
Mm-hmm.
And funny story, I actually had a client that knew I was on their property and I was flying a drone. He lives in the country and they had a huge house and we were doing drone shots. And he literally came out and says, "Is this your drone?" I go, "Yes, sir." And he goes, "Man, I was about to shoot that thing down." So Trey is right. In Texas, you don't mess around with drones. And so, but New Year's resolutions, and typically I don't, because I try to be good and do the right thing every day. So I went on a huge diet last year. I did a whole bunch of food and research and trying to work out a little bit more. Those are just good things for you overall. So I know you work out all the time. So
yeah, it's not a New Year's resolution. It's something I'm just trying to be a little bit better today than I was yesterday.
That's it. When you're not as old as me yet, but when you start getting my age, there's things that you got to do to make sure you're ready to go as you get older. You want to enjoy life. That's what we're all here to do. Enjoy life, have fun. That's it.
There's your New Year's resolution. Enjoy life. And one way in which you can enjoy your life more is to make sure you don't have any holes in your roof. So call Daniel Cook. He'll come make sure you don't. And if you do, he'll fix them. 833-COOK-DFW or that website, cookdfw.com. One more thing I wanted to point out about the Olympics and some of the peripheral stories that have been happening around Paris is the dirty river water in Paris. Now, granted, I took French in high school for a few years, but I'm not sure if I'm saying the name of the river properly. Is it the Seine River?
It's the Seine.
The Seine River? That makes sense. The Seine River. So the Seine River has been dirty for hundreds of years. I mean, I'm pretty sure Paris was designed for all the sewage to flow directly into it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was an issue that was brought up with the International Olympic Committee when it came time to whether or not to award Paris the Olympics contract. Like, well, your river's kind of a toilet, so how can we fix this to actually have the Olympics and have events in that river? And like, we'll get it cleaned up.
Mm-hmm.
So they get it cleaned up
At the cost of $1.5 billion.
That's right. And then $1.5 billion of cleanup efforts went away all in one flood. Because it all came roaring back into the river to where they had to actually postpone certain events that were scheduled to take place in the Seine River for the Paris Olympics. And that includes the triathlon, because they're not doing the regular swimming stuff in the river, which would be interesting. They still do all the freestyle and the breaststroke and all those things that Michael Phelps and Katie Ledecky have dominated at. They do that in a controlled environment in a chlorinated pool. It would be interesting to see how they would do in the open, dirty water, though. But other events do happen in that water, like the triathlon. The rowing stuff happens. Now, granted, the rowers, unless something has really gone bad, they don't have to actually get in the water. The triathletes do, because they got to swim in that water. And there's one Olympian in particular from Belgium. And she took issue with some of the pollution in the water at the Paris Olympics because there was a postponement due to the pollution. The water was deemed safe enough to swim on Wednesday. But just a couple days before, the river was tested and it had, monumental amounts of E. coli and other bacteria. Okay.
Yum.
So Jolien Vermeulen of Belgium, who finished 24th in the triathlon, blasted Olympic officials who made the call to hold the race. While she admitted that a cancellation would have been a disgrace, she said she didn't think the water was safe enough to swim in. She said, while swimming under the bridge, I felt and saw things that we shouldn't think about too much.
Oh.
I drank a lot of water, so we'll know tomorrow if I'm sick or not. It doesn't taste like Coca-Cola or Sprite, of course. The Seine River has been dirty for 100 years, so they can't say the safety of the athletes is a priority. That is bull. Oh, that's the wrong button. Hang on. She said that's BS. That's bull. That's still the wrong button. Oh, hang on. That's bull. There we go. Now I found it.
There we go.
I'll figure out these buttons eventually. But yeah, nothing like one leg of the triathlon having to swim through a literal river of. I mean, it's bad enough when during the swimming portion, because all these competitors are around you.
Yeah.
Now imagine duty.
That's yeah.
Imagine when your hand reaches forward and it touches it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing. That's in India, there are on the side of the road, you have little creeks and people will do their business in the creeks and stuff like that. But full on river of dew. That is
I think they should just rename that the Shawshank event.
You get the Andy Dufresne Award.
You get the Andy Dufresne Award for swimming through all the excrement to get to the gold medal podium.
All expense paid trip to Zihuatanejo.
Yeah.
When they fly home, the flight crew might as well just go ahead and put on the biohazard suits.
Well, you haven't even landed and they've already declared an emergency landing. Like you haven't even taken off yet. Like you get on the
they know those Olympic triathletes. They know where they've been, and now they're gonna have to take their own flight.
That's just you can't even shower that off. Like that's in you now.
Yeah, you're right. Not only was it on you, but it's in you, and at some point you get to tell the story about how you were an Olympian, right?
Yeah.
Most people's stories as Olympians involve their competitors, their teammates. These athletes have to talk about the other things in the water with them.
Ugh. She said she swam and felt things. Yeah, that's just okay. That's gross.
And here's the other thing. That's French, so it smells worse.
But it makes great wine.
And it's condescending.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
And it also smokes, which is weird. ESPN the Ocho was fake in the movie Dodgeball.
Yes.
It took a number of years, but ESPN finally embraced it and created ESPN the Ocho for real.
Yes.
Now, I didn't realize this until recently. Not only did they embrace it, but they've actually made it an actual channel watchable from ESPN, and they do this yearly. You know how there's Shark Week? There's the Ocho Weekend now.
And they do it multiple times a year now.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
so one of the things I was reading earlier today was that I thought it was just a once a year thing.
No, they've really leaned. It used to be once a year. Now I think they're doing it 2-3 times a year on slow weekends. Just obviously once the NFL's gone, especially in the summer,
Yeah. I believe it started with
not a lot to put on ESPN News.
Yeah, I believe it was where they started airing the cornhole championships. Was on the Ocho. It's moved. It's more mainstream now, but it originally aired on the Ocho.
That's how it starts, though. You put something on the Ocho, you give it life.
Yeah,
and people realize these other sports exist.
Sure, yeah.
And they become fans, and they see these sports
Yeah.
that seem very approachable, and regular people like us think, I could do that. I could play cornhole and win.
Well, I mean, one of the biggest stars has no arms or legs, so I'm thinking if you have both of those, then you're pretty much ahead of the game. So
Really, ahead of the game.
I had to laugh at it when I said it.
I'm so ashamed of you.
Head and shoulders above everybody else.
How is that not his endorsement?
Because he can't wash his hair.
Look, I'm sure a lot of people told him he couldn't play cornhole either, and he found a way. I'm sure he could find a way to wash his hair.
He's sponsored by Bush Beans. I don't know why.
Well, that's because he's still got a hole. Not everything was taken from him.
That man has a heart and a colon of gold.
Don't ever underestimate him.
That's how he pushes the beanbag through is with a little back end help.
Yeah, it's called propulsion.
From the Bush Beans.
Not only has it served NASA well, it's also served him well in the National Cornhole League. So ESPN's The Ocho is a real thing now. It's manifested into reality. And I saw the other day, someone actually posted the programming schedule for it, and I was stunned. But we missed it. I mean, the Ocho programming was last weekend. And it included 54 hours of unique, obscure sports, including more than 21 hours of live content. So what were those events, which aired on ESPN, ESPN2, and the Ocho streaming hub? Here's what the days looked like. On Thursday, it was minor league baseball. The Savannah Bananas versus the Party Animals.
Yes.
Which, if you have not seen the Savannah Bananas, they're actually pretty awesome because they will stop in the middle of a game and just do dance videos and stuff for their social media channels. Pretty funny. Trey, did you find it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so Microsoft Excel World Championship.
Mm-hmm. Do we know who the winner was?
I don't know. I just want to hear the announcers just. Oh my God, the formula that he came up with.
Oh, the function of X. Holy cow. No one saw that coming. You had the 2024 Corgi races, the World Dog Surfing Championships, Sasquatch Uncut Beard and Mustache. Yep. Oh, okay. That's like Sasquatch Soap sponsoring Beard and Mustache event. Then you got Speed Chess and the Microsoft Excel World Championships. That's just one day. Here's some other things that happened on ESPN, the Ocho. On Friday, Red Bull Game Ball Royale, Ultimate Ninja World Series finales, Three Rivers Waiter and Waitress competition. Then you get the Beard Mustache competition brought to you by Sasquatch. The 2022, I guess it was a classic, Corona Belt Sander races, the 2020 USA Mullet Championships, the 46th Annual Cherry Pit Spitting Championships, the 2023 Wisconsin Auctioneers Championship, Competitive Speed Cubing, the International Jump Rope Union World Championships, Blade Masters Axe and Knife Throwing, 2024 Bull Shooter Invitational Shootout, where I don't know if they're actually shooting the bulls, in which case they're just taking what Pamplona does and saying, well, America will raise you one. Omega Ball, the Ocho Show, but that's fun. The 2024 AWA Wiffle Ball All-Star Game, which means they have a regular season to have an All-Star Game. Then there's the USA Dodgeball All-Star Showcase, the Manscaped Turf Wars Adult Kickball Championship, Table Tennis, Slippery Stairs, Cornhole League, Silverback Breaking Invitational, which if you're trying to break a silverback, I would watch that competition because my money's on the gorilla. Then they air Dodgeball, a true underdog story. That's just all on Friday.
But you know, is the mullet championship, is that like looks, or is that the guy driving in his 84 Chevy pickup, like being able to toss the Busch Light can, speeding out of the truck into the trash can? Like,
yeah.
Is it an event or is it looks?
No, I understand. That makes sense. Is it purely look based, or is there a skill based function of it? Kind of like the Miss America tournament, where it's not just the bathing suit, but they also have to talk to them.
Yes. They have different competitions, right? So they have like a skills and like a swimsuit.
You know what? Actually, some of these events sound like events that would occur during the Mullet Championship. For example, Ball Clash, Battle of the Buoy 2, National Putting Tour, the Forehand Strike competition.
Yeah.
And then this one, certainly, Ultimate Tire Wrestling.
Yes.
And the one I was telling Raj about the other day, the Karjitsu Championship, which airs on the Ocho. That's where people do jujitsu in a car. I told Raj about this the other day because Russia takes all these things to another level. They do car judo or car jujitsu. It's just two Russian dudes in a hatchback wrestling. And I think they amp it up by making them do it inside of a Ford Pinto, which, you know, could explode at any time.
Now, in the mullet competition, is there a subdivision for is it like the angry lesbian division, like who wins? Because I've seen and I'm in Mesquite, and let me just say I have seen at Chili's two very powerful lesbian mullets. And so so is it open to all genders and races, or are we going?
I would imagine the Ocho is pretty progressive.
Okay, because there's an Indian guy at my last show with he could have won for international mullet.
But the lesbian one would be obviously the Subaru Championships.
The winner gets a husky.
It really just sells itself.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
The Water and Power Authority of the U.S. Virgin Islands is out for blood. They've had it with everyone complaining, bitching, moaning about blackouts, doubled and tripled bills, even though you didn't have power for most of the month anyway. It really is a huge cluster F in the islands when it comes to power generation. And I need to say it again. I'm sorry, ERCOT, for all the terrible things I've said to you and about you with your grid operation in Texas, because Texans could have it way, way worse. If you're not sure, just come to the Virgin Islands. That being said, it does appear that the Water and Power Authority is out for blood. And the example I have is thus. 2 weeks ago, a 100-year-old, this is from the Virgin Island Daily News, okay?
Okay.
A 100-year-old St. Thomas man was trapped, sitting upright in an electric bed after the Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority abruptly cut off his power. His daughter said the centenarian was left to suffer for more than 6 hours. This is terrible.
It really is.
This is one of the worst stories I've heard in a long time.
I wasn't ready for it.
Neither was he. I thought I was only to be in there for a few minutes, just do some therapy, then get out, maybe go outside and enjoy the fresh salt air. Maybe go to Sibs for one. But instead, he was stuck in his electric chair because the Water and Power Authority turned off his electricity.
His whole life, he's been waiting for technology to keep advancing. And he's like, I can't believe I lived to see the iPhone. And then cut to, I'm stuck in this effing bed.
It troubles me to think that somewhere in the Virgin Islands, where all these billionaires and millionaires have socked money away, it wasn't just money. Like somewhere there's a lab probably in St. Thomas where they keep the heads of dead billionaires. And part of the reason that they're sustained is through electric power. Meanwhile, WAPA's over there playing with the switches. So if they put one of these heads back on a body in 100 years, who knows what we're going to end up with?
Oh my gosh. So finish this. Was that the end of the story? Because
that's the end of the story. Unfortunately, the Virgin Island Daily News did not publish a follow-up story. I don't know if that man's still stuck in that bed.
He's probably been battling red tape for years to get that electric hospital bed to make his life easier.
I just want to know, like, did the power glitch and it just pushed him forward, so he was just like for 6 hours just staring at his junk.
Well, here's the thing, because it might be a 6-hour blackout, but really with these rolling blackouts in the Virgin Islands, sometimes they're intermittent and they just kind of come out of nowhere. So he may not have just been suspended in this electric chair for 6 hours. It might have been jolting him on and off in different positions for the entire 6 hours.
Power flips on. He's like, oh, finally. Goes to hit the button.
Next thing you know, it looks like Dr. Frankenstein is shoving this dude up through the roof and he's being hit by lightning left and right. But yeah, he got that chair from Medicare.
It's just a power surge and it shoots him straight up the stairs faster than he's ever been in his life. How old are you? Survived 100 years and a power outage electric chair kills you.
Well, because it keeps reviving him.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This past weekend, you had the top of the box office being ruled by Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. Their two movies tops at the box office for the first time since I think it was 1990 that a Hollywood couple has ruled the box office. Who was the couple all the way back in 1990 to achieve the same feat? Bruce Willis and Demi Moore. Demi Moore had Ghost in theaters, and Bruce Willis had Die Hard 2.
Oh, right on.
So a quick would you rather, a quick versus, if you will. Okay, hang on, let me find my music. This is important. Trey, Raj, welcome to Versus.
Happy to be here.
On tap today. Would you rather take in a double feature of ruling box office couples? Would you rather take in the double feature of Die Hard 2 and Ghost, starring Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, respectively, or go to the movie theater right now and take in the very interestingly paired double feature of Deadpool and Wolverine and the domestic violence flower movie, It Ends With Us, starring Blake Lively? Which double feature are you walking into? No bathroom breaks.
Who are we starting with?
Based on the look on Trey's face, I'm going to start with you, Raj.
Okay. Well, Blake Lively's getting a lot of heat from icing out her co-star in this new movie. But then there is Deadpool Wolverine, which is great. But I would, nostalgia-wise, I would go back and I would do Die Hard 2 and Ghost.
Interesting. I will say one of my favorite lines in any movie ever is from Die Hard 2. But because it's so obscure to the zeitgeist that it's hard to find it online, I just need to pull it myself and post it because it's a beautifully delivered line. In the movie, I'm brain farting on the actor's name, but Andy Sipowicz from NYPD Blue is the police captain at Dulles International Airport, where John McClane is dealing with more terrorists on Christmas. And in that film,
Dennis Franz.
Dennis Franz. Thank you very much. In that film, Dennis Franz and Bruce Willis, as their respective characters in Die Hard 2, are having an argument. And at one point, Dennis Franz delivers the classic line, "I'm stunned. I got to lie down." I have used that line on the show so many times over the years. I feel like I owe him a royalty check. So that's my quick sidebar about Die Hard 2. Trey, what about you? Which double feature are you attending? Deadpool and Wolverine with It Ends With Us, or are you going back to 1990 and walking into Ghost paired with Die Hard 2?
It's such a tough one because Die Hard 2, not my favorite Die Hard.
Right.
You mean you didn't like it when the general was doing naked karate in his hotel room?
I thought we would brush past that, but no, here we are.
Absolutely not. It also made it very difficult to watch the third Iron Man movie because the same actor is playing the president. And I'm thinking, I've seen that man do naked karate and I saw the tip of his in the reflection. Yeah.
I think Die Hard 2, just because the ending, they just worked so hard for him to say yippee-ki-yay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
really gratifying though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tosses that Zippo. Whew, yeah.
Ghost, all-time great movie. I just because it's so good, I'll have to go with Deadpool and Wolverine. And
wow, interesting. All right.
So
well, very cool. I'm glad to see some conflict between the two of you today in the latest edition of Versus.
But haven't we all done at some point in our lives? I'm 49. I know I've done naked karate before. Have you guys not? At some point, just tried it after you saw that? Like, no naked karate.
That's Versus for today inside the Treehouse, where Raj stands alone.
I was in my birthday gi.
I really hate you because now I have that in my head.
Are you addressing your penis as sensei?
You don't want to know where the dojo is.
I've seen him wax on and off, Trey.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Trey is 8 years sober, so we're very excited for you, Trey.
Thank you.
While congratulations are in order, is there a gift that we should get you? I know you said that you're a sweets fiend now, as are most recovering alcoholics. Because before, I don't think I really ever recall you craving any sweets at all in your drinking days. Now you're just like running around like a kid who's chasing Willy Wonka.
Oh, I guess my first day of sobriety, like I would have gutted somebody for a snickerdoodle, and still, yeah.
That's the whitest thing I've ever heard anybody say.
I love snickerdoodles.
Is it cinnamon? Is that what that is?
Cinnamon and sugar.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's the perfect balance. Cinnamon, brown sugar. It's just
Okay.
It's also Trey's prison name.
Brown sugar was my nickname in college. So
well, yeah. Well, no, Raj, your nickname in college was brown sugar, and as we found out last episode,
yes.
Superwood. Trey's nickname is Snickerdoodle.
So you started. So that's the thing, right? Is sweets now?
Yes,
is the thing.
Your body, when your body is used to that much sugar, and especially for me, when you drank every day for 25 years. That much sugar in your system, it constantly craves it. So yeah, it's.
And what was the drink of choice? What was I didn't know you when you were drinking. So
Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels. Okay.
I mean, I went through a Scotch phase. Went through this is how much I drank. And you have to remember the old Loon. The old Loon was a very popular bar, and
may she rest in peace.
He just crossed himself.
And it served a 3-ounce pour. And, I always said, if you could drink at the Loon, you could drink anywhere. And that was true. But I drank so much when I switched from Stoli Orange to Jack Daniels, it affected their inventory.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
And not only that, but when you stopped drinking, it affected their bottom line.
That's why they closed.
That's exactly it. Look, there's a reason why the Loon, there's a reason why we say rest in peace to the Loon. It's because Trey went sober and they went out of business. And that bar was open since the 60s.
They turned into a shell.
Actually, it's a CVS.
CVS. Okay.
If you if you knew the number of ex-Loon patrons that are in the rooms of AA.
So that was the drink of choice, was just straight Jack
and Diet.
Jack and Diet. Okay.
Yeah, so
that's
when
where
Trey
the sugar
quit
comes
drinking,
from to it.
yeah, so when Trey
No,
quit
sugar's
drinking,
from alcohol.
Well,
when Trey quit drinking, he demolished not only Jack Daniel's bottom line, but Diet Cokes as well. Like it just multiple industries felt the effects of it.
I kept up Diet Coke until about 3 years ago, and then finally kicked that habit. But that was a blow to their bottom line because, I used to have one of those big, huge 7-Eleven cups, like the 64. I think it was bigger than 64 ounces that I would fill up with Diet Coke.
They renamed it the Trenholm Gulp.
Yeah.
So what's the okay? So no more Diet Cokes, no more alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you?
No more nicotine.
No more nicotine. I know you.
I miss nicotine. God, I could give a rat's ass about ever drinking again. But man, if I could have if they would give me a vice that you could do without any ramifications, man, I would sprint. I would pull a hammy sprinting to the store to buy a can of Skull.
Oh, interesting. So you're going to smokeless as opposed to
smokeless. Okay.
Yeah, I dipped for 22 years. And it's kind of like vaping. You can pretty much do it everywhere. But yeah, I dip or vape. I don't know. I wouldn't probably smoke just because of the smell. But yeah, I would go buy a can of Skull so fast. I would.
Winter green long cut. Was that yours?
No. So I started off Copenhagen. Regular Skull mint. Then at the end, it was Skull mint pouches.
Oh my God. It's Copenhagen. That's just all in your teeth.
Oh yeah. Copenhagen is an art form. It really is. When you see someone who really knows how you pack it and you get the little lip on it and then you get in there and dig it in, 2 fingers and just shove it in there.
Do we need to leave you alone for a minute? Light a candle.
Oh, the good old days.
Put on some Enya. Congratulations. 8 years sober.
Yeah.
And not missing the alcohol, but clearly there's still some hard up feelings for the tobacco side of you.
Yeah, nicotine. Yeah. That's my girl.
That's why he's single.
Yeah, Trey doesn't do well with ultimatums.
Yeah. I don't do well with ultimatums or moderation.
That just means you live life to the fullest.
Yeah.
Taking it all in. I'm proud of you.
Very proud. That's a huge achievement, man. 8 years. That's incredible.
Oh, thank you.
I had a punchline somewhere, but I was actually really proud of you.
Trey drank it. It's okay.
That's amazing. 8 years.
And now he's turning into a sugar fiend, or he has turned into a sugar fiend.
Crackhead for snickerdoodles.
Yeah, Tiff's treats. It's like a dealer just coming at you.
Yeah, if you, I know we have Tiff's treats drivers that listen to the show, and so if you see a crazed white man chasing you, odds are it's Trey.
Mm-hmm.
I would go the white chocolate macadamia.
That and snickerdoodle. That's my 2 favorites. I'll put them together and eat them like a sandwich.
You'll scissor them.
In more ways than one.
It got weird again. Y'all had to make it weird.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.